councillors. It's great to see so many councillors here today, which also reinforces the importance for this event to continue on to the future. To Deputy Mayor Tony Bleasdale, Chris Quilke, Councillors Chris Quilke, Julie Griffiths, Kevin Gillies, now I've got to go around and seek them all out, Kathy Collins, Carol Israel, did I miss anyone? So it's great to see them all here, and sorry to make a slightly political statement, it's a shame that it's all from one side and I don't see any other side here, but anyway. Also, an important event like this, having the strong support of the union movement, having a union secretary from the RTBU, a local resident, Alex Classens, is here representing all the rail workers, as well as the AMWU, and I've got to say, in a big way, the CFMEU, their support since day one of this, talking to the various different builders in the area. Particularly, I know Rebel Hanlon will be talking this morning as well, saying a few words, but the tragedy that we've just seen in Macquarie Park, these are important events for us to get together and mourn and think. Really, the moment for today is to also stop, think, survive, and make sure that anyone goes to work has the right to go home in the same condition back to their families and continue to play their important contribution in life. Also, various business leaders are here as well. From Fraser's Property Group, we have Gary, as well as Richard from, where's Richard Crooks? I've just forgotten. Rebel, help me out here. What?
Richard Crooks.
What's the company name?
Richard Crooks.
Oh, from Richard Crooks. Okay, there you go. You got about 5 mentions there. So he's here. Look, when you're looking around the area, with the development that's happening in the city of Blacktown, the building companies and developers are playing a huge role in providing the housing for the future, not only for housing, community centres, all sorts of industrial buildings, etc. here. So your role in building a sustainable future for Blacktown is very vital, and it's great to see that the builders are out here as well. Lena from the Asian Women at Work. Very important role for the Asian Women at Work, really for those workers, a lot of them on visas, etc., that come out here not knowing who to talk to, a little bit reluctant or scared to approach the union, wondering what will their boss do to them, etc. Going through the Asian Women at Work, having the interpreting services, that support service, that mentoring and support. And we've seen so often groups of workers under the old scheme called the 457 visas, where the CFMEU uncovered all those building workers who basically were being in individual houses, groups of them being just shuttled off to the house and then back, and vice versa, and not allowed to contact. And they were from one particular country, I suppose, country of my origin, Hungary, and they weren't able to even go down to St. Elizabeth or the South Hungarian Club to have some Hungarian food there. But they were actually ferried away from their community, so they couldn't talk about their challenges and knowing whether they got paid the right amount or safety in the workplace. So, and also, I suppose just recently, which I know is under investigation from many people, but that Filipino worker that died on his way back to the airport, where under interesting circumstances, I suppose, that jumped out of a car at high speed. So we'll leave it at that. It's under police investigation whether what happened in that particular circumstances. So many different people from different walks of life, each and every one of you that have come and taken a bit of time out on this Sunday morning to be here and to remember. I think if we can make this a larger event into years to go, if from here you go back to your workplaces or to your families and get some more people down, because this affects everybody. I think it's good to have a moment to stop and reflect. We've seen over the last 4 years or so the wonderful memorial statue that we have in the middle of the pond here. So we are also looking at, over the next few years, slowly developing this as a memorial walk where we could have signposts that anyone that would walk down here during the year could actually see issues about the workplace, to see you know, whether when the 8-hour day came in, when workplace safety changed, when the first case, and I'm happy to note that Peter Filmer, also all the council representatives, sorry, all the work from the wonderful work of Peter Filmer and Kevin Poyley and the team. We have Wayne Rudy here, the Director of City Assets and Building and all that stuff here as well, and all the council people that are here. But we've picked up a combine harvester that will be here. So you might wonder, what has a harvester got to do with this? Well, back in 1906, I think, from memory, I should know it, being an AWU member, was the first case for the living wage, the first industrial award. So we have a combine harvester of that era that will try to work out. Rudy's trying to work out how to get it into a reasonable condition where kids won't climb all over it. It's a wooden harvester, and we're going to put it out here. So that's our second memorability that we put out here. But it'd be important to have some, as you can see around the walk here, signposting of important events, and to remind people. You know, the police here, there's been 2 police officers that have died in the Blacktown area, to commemorate, remember, and to make sure that we go forward. And happy to note that Rebel Hanlon and from Fraser's, Gary from Fraser's, Gary's actually contributing a few $1,000s towards one of our first signs. So I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart for your support, and hopefully the union movement. Alex can take a already spoken to Mark Moray, who's been here, the Secretary of Unions New South Wales, has been here every year except for this year because he's got his own service in town at 11 o'clock. He's extremely keen in putting some signs here. Now the next speaker, and I haven't mentioned her up to now, but it's important. We've got Tracy Cook from WorkSafe, the Senior Manager at WorkSafe, who'll be giving our major talk today. And a local resident. It's great to find out that people from our local area have made it to a senior role in WorkSafe. And it's fantastic to see the success stories, not only in sport or culture or dance, etc. It's great to see in the world of business that, well done Tracy for making it to a senior level in WorkSafe. And you're a very honoured guest speaker for us today. So without further ado, I'll go back to you, or just back to Kevin. Thank you.